Now, the next topic that we are going to start is models, and you have already covered this topic also in your previous classes. Again, are not new topic for you. Models is an auxiliary verb, generally termed as helping verb, which is used with the main verb to indicate a particular attitude, such as possibility, obligation, prediction, etc. That means when we use these words, they are used with the main verb and they express a particular possibility, obligation, prediction. That means attitude we get to know from this. And most of the modal verbs which you have already covered in your previous classes also: can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must, ought to, dare, need, used to. So the modals are also sometimes referred as modal verbs or modal auxiliaries. हम इनको modal verbs भी कह देते हैं, modal auxiliaries भी कह देते हैं. And for this we have different pronunciation also. Some people call it as modals and some say modals. There's no difference because it depends upon the pronunciation. Auxiliaries in English are of two types. First one, as you have the main verbs, be, from where we take the helping verbs, is, am, are, was, were, being, been, have, has, have, had, three forms of this. Then do, does, did. So these help to form tenses, interrogative and negatives. And many a time they act as main verbs. These auxiliary verbs, which we call as the helping verbs also, they all are based on the tenses. And we use them according to the tenses to make different tenses, to convert the sentences into question form and to make negative sentences. And many times they are used as a main verb also. You can look at the examples. The book is on the table. Here is a help is not used as a helping verb. It is used here as main verb. We are brothers. I have a pen. I do my duty. She has a book. I had two balls. All these helping verbs are used here as main verbs. These auxiliaries can be used as main verbs. That means the helping verb that we use in the tenses, they can be used as main verbs. This is the point they want to say. Second is as helping verbs. She is playing a match. Here we can see use of is. It is used as helping verb. Play is the main verb with ing form, and is used here is as helping verb. I am not writing a letter. I did not let him. I did not hit him. An apple was eaten by Sita. Are the boys being punished by the teacher? Has the picture been seen by you? So in all these sentences, what we see that these auxiliary verbs are used as helping verbs, not as main verbs. But in the first example, we have seen that they are used as helping verbs. So what we come to know, first point, that these can be the verbs which are made from the tenses, auxiliary verbs. They can be used as helping verbs also, and they can be used as main verbs also. Now the coming to the next point, that is what are modal auxiliaries and what are modals. दोनों में difference क्या है? हमने क्या अभी देखा कि जो modal auxiliaries हैं जिनको कहा जा रहा है, they are used as helping verbs also, they are used as main verbs also. Means वो helping verb जो हम tenses से लेते हैं, जैसे is, am, are, was, were, has, have, do, does, did, ये सारे क्या हैं, tenses में use हो रहे हैं. So we take them as main verb also and we use them as helping verb also. But what is the difference between the modals? Modal auxiliaries or modals cannot be used as main verbs or as independent primary auxiliaries. लेकिन जो modal verbs हैं जिनको हम modal auxiliaries भी कहते हैं, they cannot be used as main verbs. जबकि हमने क्या देखा, जो auxiliary verbs थे या helping verbs थे tenses based, they can be used in both forms, but the modals cannot be used as main verbs. Models are never used alone. Second thing, models cannot be used alone. जैसे हमारे पास वहाँ main verb आ जाता है, helping verb को हम main verb ले रहे हैं is, am, are को, तो they can be used alone. But the models cannot be used alone. They are used to help a main verb. Main verb must be there. They do not have the infinitive, present participle or past participle form. The third point is that the modal verbs or the modal auxiliaries, they do not have any infinitive form. Infinitive form means 2 plus first form जैसे हम use करते हैं. Present participle, that means first form with ing, and past participle, that means third form. They don't have infinitive, present participle and past participle form. Next, they cannot be used in all tenses. We cannot use the modal verbs into all tenses. Modals are mainly used to indicate one's attitude towards what one is saying, or when one is concerned about the effect of one's speech on the other person in the communication channels. They are mostly used to indicate the attitude of the speaker and the effect of that speech on the speaker, on the listener in the communication channel. When we talk to each other, when we communicate to each other, it tells about the attitude and of the listener as well as the speaker. Models have a special use in three types of complex sentences. This you have already done. It is given in the another form. You have done the conditional sentences. They talk about that. Complex sentence कहाँ होता है जब हमारे पास conditional sentences use होते हैं. That is used in the complex form. तो हम मॉडल्स का डिफरेंट यूज होता है. आपने देखा है उसमें आप प्रेजेंट प्लस फ्यूचर करते हो, फिर पास्ट प्लस वुड कुड शुड प्लस फर्स्ट फॉर्म यूज करते हो. Then in the third pattern we use had plus third form, and in the second clause we use would, could, should, have plus third form past perfect plus third pattern में आप use कर रहे हो. ठीक है. So this is referred to that only. The models have a special use in the three types of complex sentences. Then modals are followed by the base form of a verb. कि जब भी हम modal verb use करेंगे, it will always be followed by the base form. That means the first form of the verb. I must leave now. It will be nice to say. Be is used here as main verb. To ought, you ought to pay the taxes. Ought to, modal verb. Pay, first form of the verb. When a modal is followed by be plus present participle, this indicates that one is talking about the present or the future. कि जब हम किसी भी मॉडल वर्ब के बाद बी यूज कर रहे हैं प्लस प्रेजेंट पार्टिसिपल, दैट मीन्स फर्स्ट फॉर्म विच आईएनजी यूज कर रहे हैं, इट शोज दैट वन इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्रेजेंट और द फ्यूचर. की या तो प्रेजेंट के बारे में बात हो रही है या फ्यूचर के बारे में बात हो रही है. बट when a model is followed by have plus past participle, जब हम have के साथ third form लगा के use करते हैं, this indicates that one is talking about the past tense. मीन्स अगर be के पास साथ first form ing है तो present और future है. If after the model we are using have plus third form, that means we are using past form. We are talking about the past time. You must have noticed his behavior. She may have left already. I ought to have replied. And this can be used in the passive form also. The pattern of the passive form will be model plus be plus past participle. आपने voice करे हुए ना कि when you change the model sentences into passive form, we use be plus third form of the verb. ऐसे have been plus third form of the verb. His statement will be published soon. This is the passive form. Will be published. You can be arrested at any time. Such changes may have been justified. Then a modal is never followed by the auxiliary verb do or any other modal. कोई भी modal verb जो है उसके पीछे do as auxiliary verb, that means as helping verb use नहीं होता. Modals do not inflect, means they do not have any S form, ing form और ed form. जैसे हमने पहले भी डिस्कस करा है कि to infinitive नहीं होंगे, present participle नहीं होगा, past participle नहीं होगा. The same form that we cannot use S with this, we cannot add ing with this, we cannot use ed. आप can के साथ ing लगा सकते हो, नहीं लगा सकते ना. may के साथ ing लगता है, नहीं. ed लगती है, no. We cannot use S, ing or ed with these modal verbs. Coming to the different modal verbs. This was only the introduction, what are modals and how they are different from the helping verbs used in the tenses. Coming to the first verb, that is will, we use will to refer or to express simple future tense in the sense of prediction. Prediction होता है कोई आप foretelling कर रहे हो, कोई estimate दे रहे हो, कोई भविष्यवाणी बता रहे हो. It will rain tomorrow. That means I predict so. भविष्यवाणी कर रहा है. You will go to school. Simple future. Important notes in declarative sentences. In that means in the simple sentences with I, we as subjects, the use of shall and will is interchangeable. We have discussed it in the tenses. Future form जब आप करते हो tenses की, these will and shall is interchangeable. Will and shall are not used in clauses beginning with if or when. जब हम conditional sentences करते हैं, first clause है जो हमारे पास, when the sentence starts with if, we don't use future here, though it gives the reference to the future action. If I go to Mumbai, I will bring a camera for you. कि अगर मैं मुंबई जाऊंगा तो आपके लिए कैमरा लाऊंगा. दोनों डायरेक्शन जो है फ्यूचर से रिलेटेड हैं, but we don't use will here. So according to this conditional sentence, we use first present, and in the second clause we use will. When he comes, we shall begin the work. Again, when we start the sentence with and when, and it gives a condition, we don't use future. To express willingness, intention, or wish. You want to give your willingness, you want to show your intention, you want to show your wish, we can use will. I will lend you some money, that means I'm willing. Who will go home? Who is willing to? Coming to the next, to express a request, invitation, or order in yes no questions. You want to express any request, you want to give an invitation, or you want to give an order, and you expect the answer in yes or no with you as subject. In yes no questions with yes you as subject. Will you accompany me home? You request, I request you to do so. Will you shut up? Order की form है. Will you like to have a cup of tea? Invitation. So to show any request, invitation, and order in yes no questions, that means helping verb question form है, where you is used as subject. We can use will. To express general facts, those which are true. Oil will float on water. Pigs will eat anything. It is fact. So we can use will here. To express a characteristic habit, कोई किसी के करेक्टर की हैबिट है, आदत बनी हुई है, उसको शो करने के लिए भी हम will यूज कर सकते हैं. She will sit there for hours doing nothing. उसकी हैबिट है कि वो नहीं केयर करती टाइम की और बैठी बैठी बातें करती रहती है. So this is characteristic habit. Next, to express threat or promise or a single impersonal command. You want to give threat, you want to make any promise, you can use here will. I will teach him a lesson. Threat, I will try to improve. Promise, you will not attend my class. This is impersonal command. Single impersonal command means to one person only. You will not attend my class. It's not collectively but individually. Coming to the next form, use of shall. Shall is used to express simple future और a prediction in the same way as will. जैसे हम will use करते हैं वैसे ही हम future के लिए shall भी use करते हैं according to the future tenses. To express suggestion in yes no questions with we as subject. कोई आप suggestion देना चाहते हो जिसमें आपका subject जो है वो we से start हो रहा है and it is yes no question, we can start the sentence with shall. Shall we start the game? Shall we play the cards? That means the speaker is included. We use subject we here. Next is violation or the will of the listener. In yes no questions with I as subject. अगर I subject है तो we can start the sentence with shall to show the will of the listener. Shall I come tomorrow? Do you want me to come? मतलब क्या आप चाहते हो कि मैं आऊँ? Shall I make some tea for you? Do you want so? That means you want to get the willingness of someone by using shall in the beginning. Next, to express willingness, intention or insistence on the part of the speaker. जो बोलने वाला है उसकी willingness, intention या insistence आप show करना चाहते हो. He shall go means I insist on his going, मतलब वो जरूर जाए. He will go, he insists on his going. He shall be rewarded if he remains patient. I will do that. Then in declarative sentences, simple sentences as in the future tense, Jack will do it. Simply हम क्या use करते हैं? We use will with second and third person and I or we first person के साथ we use shall. But we can interchange these helping verbs if we want to show any determination, any order, any promise, certainty of any action. Jack will do it. We can say Jack shall do it. That means I will see to it that Jack does it. मतलब वो जरूर करे. When we want that action should be done, must. You will not betray my trust. You will have to go. He shall not betray my trust. Determination. So हमने change कर दिया. Determination order है. Condition दी गई है. तो we have exchanged the helping verb from will to shall. Next, coming to the use of would. Would is used to express future in the past, as in the reported speech. आपने देखा अभी narration करे हैं. Reported speech में आप will को would में change करते हो. That is again the same rule given here to express future in the past. She told me that he would go. He said that you would tell a lie. To express willingness, intention, or determination or probability. Willingness, intention, determination, or probability means किसी काम के होने की संभावना है. Then also we use would. I would do that for you means I am willing if you want, if you ask. He would be at home now. Probability संभावना है कि वो शायद घर पर ही होगा. I would go out for a walk, long walk. Intention, I would give up smoking. Determination. So this shows the probability, intention, willingness, and determination. Would here indicates more tentativeness than will. Please note down the difference. यही चीजें हम will के साथ भी कह सकते हैं. But we use would when there is more tentativeness. That means when the possibility is less. We are not sure about the thing. Possibility is less, then we use would. And when the possibility is more, we use will. To express a habitual activity, any activity which is a habit, to express that, she would sit here for hours saying prayers. Would sit here, would is used in the sense of used to. इसकी habit है, वो बैठी रहा करती है. He would take a long walk after meals every day. To express a wish, we pray to God for any wish. Then we use would. I wish she would stand first. I wish there would be no rumor. Would that I were rich. Kash mein ameer hota. They where we feel that action is impossible. We cannot. To express a desire or make a request. We want to make a request to someone. We use would. I would like to have a glass of water. Would you say something on the subject? To express an unreal condition, ऐसी condition which is unreal, which cannot be fulfilled. This is the third pattern of the conditional sentences. Had you worked hard, you would have passed. If you had worked hard, you would have passed. It's the same thing when we miss if we bring had in the beginning. Next sentence, if I had reached there in time, I would have caught the train. This is the third pattern of your conditional sentences. Past perfect plus would, could, should, have plus third form. Next, to express a preference. When we want to give preference for something, I would rather die than beg. I would like to stay with her today. That means I like to stay. We are giving your preference. Next is the use of should. Should is used to express duty, necessity, obligation. आपकी कोई ड्यूटी है, आपको कोई काम करना चाहिए. For that you want to give your expression, then we use should. You should serve your country. We should help the poor. You should take exercise daily. Here we are giving suggestion to someone, or we think that we should do this work, as we should help the poor. It's not must. It's only your duty. And necessity, ज़रूरत है कि ऐसा होना चाहिए. Obligation means moral duty. To express tentative use, meaning in case, कि जब in case की जगह पर आप should को use कर सकते हो. Tentative meaning when you are not strong. Should you come early, you can see me in my room. Here you can use in case you come early, you can see me in my room. In case word के लिए आप should भी use कर सकते हो, because here the possibility is less. I know you won't. उसको पता है कि वो नहीं आएगा, but in case you do. Yeah? जब हमें पॉसिबिलिटी होती है कि ये काम नहीं होगा, लेकिन फिर भी हम सोचते हैं कि अगर ऐसा हुआ, in case you come early, you can see me in my room. Should he give up drinking, he can hope to win her over. लेकिन पता है कि वो नहीं छोड़ेगा. He would not give up drinking. So it is tentative use of in case. We can replace in case with should also. Should he give up drinking? I know he won't, but in case he does. Then to express purpose or suggestion or condition. Walk fast, lest you should miss the train. It is showing purpose. And note down, this is the use of the conjunction also. When we use lest, it is always followed by should. You should not leave this place so late in the night. It is a form of suggestion. I should be glad to meet him. Condition. So when we want to express any purpose, suggestion or condition, we can use should also. Next is coming to the use of can. Can is used to express ability. आप में किसी चीज़ की ability है, योग्यता है, आप कोई काम कर सकते हो, काबिल हो किसी काम के लिए, for that you can use can. He can lift this heavy load. She can drive a car. To refer a characteristic only of sporadic pattern behavior, usually in a derogatory sense. To refer a characteristic, you can understand only this thing. किसी की particular कोई characteristic है, कोई feature है किसी के character की, उसको explain करने के लिए we can use can. She can be cunning at times. It is her nature. उसकी nature में है कि वो cunning है. So this shows the characteristic. Raghu can tell awful lies. This is again his characteristic. To make a request, can I use your pen, please? Can you pass on the salt, sir? So to make a request. To express permission, आप किसी को permission देते हो या किसी से permission मांगते हो, even then we can use can. You can go home now. He can make his own choice. To express possibility, किसी चीज़ के होने की संभावना है. She can be hiding. He can come today. आ सकता है, संभावना है, आ सकता है आज. With verbs of sensation, I can see the moon. I can hear music. Senses के लिए जो verbs use किए जाते see, hear, feel, उनके लिए हम can use कर सकते हैं. Next is the use of could. Could is used as a past tense of can. I told him that he could take the test. She said that she could do that, as used in the form of reported speech in the narrations. To express ability in the past time. किसी की ability जो past time की आप explain कर रहे हो, even then we can use could. He could lift that heavy load. Means now he is not capable, but he was capable in the past. He had the capability to do or to lift the heavy load in the past, but not now. It refers to the past ability only. Note down, very important note given. In this sense, could is never used to refer to a single successful achievement. कोई भी single achievement है, उसके लिए could नहीं use किया जा सकता. For example, he ran fast and was able to catch the bus. We cannot say that he ran fast and could catch the bus, because it is only referred to a single achievement. Next, to express a characteristic of past. Past की कोई characteristics है, for that also you can use could. She could be very unkind. She could be cunning. It was her nature, but not now. अब नहीं है. To make a request, could you give me a glass of water, please? And what is the important thing? Could in such cases shows more politeness than can. हम can से भी कह सकते हैं, can you give me a glass of water, please? But if we want to be more polite, we should use could. To express permission, could I take her out, mother? Again, note the important point. Could is more polite than can. With verbs of sensation, same as we did with can, to show the past ability. In the sensations, I could hear music. You could have helped him. These sentences also refer to the past because we are using have plus third form. He could not help laughing. Coming to the use of ought to. Ought to is used to express duty, necessity, obligation in the same way as should. जैसे हमने should के लिए किया है, same form में हम ought to भी use कर सकते हैं to show any duty, any necessity or any obligation that is your moral duty. I ought to go now. You ought to take medicine regularly. We ought to serve our country. This becomes our moral duty, obligation कि अपने country की सेवा करें. It becomes a necessity. You ought to take medicine. It is the necessity कि लेनी चाहिए medicine. And I ought to go now. My duty. See the important points. ought to is not as forceful as must. लेकिन अगर आप फोर्सफुल होना चाहते हो कि ये काम ज़रूर किया जाए, then we should use must, not ought to. He ought to go, but he won't. जब हम कहते हैं ना he ought to go, उसको जाना चाहिए लेकिन वो नहीं जाएगा. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि वो जाए, कि हमने एक सजेशन दे दी, इट्स ओके. ही वी कैनॉट से ही मस्ट गो. लेकिन अगर हम कहते हैं ही मस्ट गो बट ही वोंट, देन दिस इज रॉन्ग. ही मस्ट गो मीन्स उसको जाना ही होगा. मस्ट मीन्स ज़रूरी है, वो काम होगा ही. क्लियर? कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट, the past tense of ought to is expressed with ought to have plus third form of the verb. अगर हम इसकी past form show करना चाहते हैं, he ought to have attended the meeting. Have plus third form. करनी चाहिए थी, but now it is not possible because the time is over and the action relates to past. Next is the use of must. To express compulsion, obligation, necessity, duty, advice, इन सारी forms के लिए हम must भी use कर सकते हैं. You can see the example differently. You must attend the class. It's compulsion. That means आपको ज़रूर करनी चाहिए. We must respect our elders. It is our moral obligation. You must serve your country. It's again a duty. A subordinate must obey his boss. Necessity कि जो subordinate है उसको अपने boss की मानना चाहिए. You must wear a helmet. It is an advice and it should be followed. Must be followed. ज़रूर करना चाहिए because it is for your safety. You must not waste your time. Again, a necessity or an advice which should be followed compulsory. To express a determination, कोई आप determination अपना show करना चाहते हो, you can use must. I must top the list this time means अपने आप से आप कोई determination कर रहे हो. I must get a seat this time. To express a logical necessity or expectation, कोई logic है किसी चीज़ में, necessity में, या आप expect करते हो. You must feel sorry for the mess you have made. You must have helped foul somewhere. He must be mad to do it. It refers to the past. Must have plus third form refers to the past form. To express a possibility, she must have reached Mumbai by now. पहुंच जा चुकी होगी, मतलब उसको लग रहा है कि जरूर पहुंच गई होगी. When we are firm about that thing, then we use must. Then coming to the next form of use of may, I'm leaving it here because we'll be not able to finish it to rest of the part, so we'll continue tomorrow.